Liverpool 3, Manchester United 0. Graham, tell me your thoughts on that game, mate.
I thought we started okay, but it was a bit like a cup tie, a bit blood and thunder. Both United were giving the ball away, but Liverpool were helping us out by giving it back. I don't think that was sustainable, because I think at some point Liverpool were going to be playing better. You can't give teams of that quality encouragement. And by the 20th minute, I was looking at my watch and thinking, can we get to half time and change it? Because it was a car crash, wasn't it, really?
Yeah. I completely agree with you. Now, obviously, a lot of things are going to be pointed at Casemiro for them first 2 goals, but on my opinion, I kind of blame Onana for them, because he was trying to play out from the back and he was just hoofing it either out of play or to a Liverpool player, and obviously Casemiro got caught in possession. It was a poor day at the office throughout the entire team. But what do you think cost us the most in individual errors?
I think, I'll be perfectly honest, I think Liverpool retired Casemiro today. I think I think the hierarchy at United, Manuel Ugarte is going to go on international duty, and they'll be praying like hell that he comes back fit.
Yeah.
Because I don't. You can take this to the bank. He's playing against Southampton. He's starting. No question about it. And the worst thing about that is it's embarrassed a star of the game, a guy who's been an elite performer for a long time, and we've had to put a 20-year-old or however old Toby Collier is in a game that you really don't want him in on. Yeah. There's just nothing. I don't think there was anything positive to come out of that. I think also Joshua Zirkzee has realised that he's not in Italy anymore. Nice touches, but it's the pace is up, and you're going to have to make it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Obviously, there's quite a lot of groans at Joshua Zirkzee. Obviously, he had probably the 2 best chances of United's game, you could say, and he didn't really capitalise on it. One was straight at the keeper, one went out wide. Do you think that he has what it takes? Because a lot of people are saying he's a Vegas with an afro.
No, I don't believe that. I think there's a lot of ability there, but it's like everything else. People were calling for him to start. I think while Mount was fit, you could introduce these players in. I think you've seen the benefit that De Ligt has got from actually not starting. I think the basic defending of Mazraoui and De Ligt actually was a plus today. But it's how it fits in the grand scheme of things. My issue today is, I think if we'd had opportunities to keep the ball and put Liverpool under pressure, I don't think, we didn't really do that. There were little flashes here and there where we could have got on the end of things, but there was no team pressure on them, and I don't think. I'm not sure Slot's completely happy with the way they played. Yeah. And we're not going to be certainly looking at Liverpool all season and looking for their faults, because our game is gone. We're not interested. We're interested in what Erik ten Hag does with Man United, and I don't know whether the international break is a blessing in disguise, because there'll be a lot of scar tissue from today. I do think Liverpool could have scored 5 again. It was that poor in places.
I completely agree with you. Obviously, 7-0 at Anfield, now 3-0 at Old Trafford. I get last season we drew them both in the league and we beat them in the cup, but do you think ten Hag has what it takes to win in big games? I mean, obviously we saw the FA Cup final, or the entire FA Cup run last season, but do you think ten Hag has what it takes to win the league?
Well, I think you've seen, when you're actually bringing new players in to a team, that we were talking actually before the game about senior players and being role models, and you think about the class of 92 actually emerging into the team of 1994 and beyond, and you look at the team that won the double in 94, and there were 7 or 8 leaders before any junior got on the pitch.
Yeah. Do you see any leaders on that pitch?
Well, there were senior players, and I think they put a shift in, but sometimes being humble like that, they can look like they don't care, and that's definitely not the case, because you've seen big games from them, after really bad setbacks. So they've got to regroup and try and get some positivity from it. The thing that did worry me, and I was talking to Carl Anker after the game, and he said we looked like we wanted to press for 15 and 20 minutes, but we didn't have the legs. And every team that sees it off becomes a threat against us, and that's slightly concerning from somebody who reports with that sort of calibre.
Yeah, I completely agree. Obviously, international break now. How do you think United bounce back for the next game?
Well, it's a newly promoted club. We've he's had situations where he's been up against it and actually, quelled the swelling or the infection and turned it around. So really what he's got to look at, they sort of have to win it and put in a performance at Southampton, and take it from there. I mean, Palace is now a difficult away game. It's not really what you would call a gimme anymore, given what happened last season. So Southampton is a must-win, and really you're looking about stopping the hemorrhage, reducing the damage, and trying to regroup, and really the game after Southampton is Tottenham rather than Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Obviously, we still have quite a few players out injured. Obviously, Luke Shaw, Rasmus Højlund, now Mason Mount, and our new signing Lenny Yoro. Do you think any of them signs could have made a difference today?
Well, I think it gives the manager options. My concern is primarily the midfield, because, and I swore I was never going to say this, but I need to say it. We've got two midfielders, one who came on late as a substitute and one who's been retired today. I honestly think he's been retired today. I don't think he's going to play again unless absolutely in an emergency.
Who's that, Ericsson or Casemiro?
Casemiro. But what you've got is we've had to let McTominay go. He wouldn't have made a difference, but he's a senior player who would have, who wouldn't have been, would have played with a lot of heart and would have played with a bit of discipline. And we don't have that anymore, so we can't blame him.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Thank you for talking to me, Graham.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.